Viewers, welcome to the show. If you can see a map behind me, it's actually the map of Southeast Asia. And why it's relevant, I will be discussing going forward. But first, I welcome you to the geopolitical show, The Chessboard, where we discuss the implications of different geopolitical phenomena which are recent as well as persistent. I'm your host, Farhan Intishar Khalid. Well, Bangladesh as well as other countries of the world do go through specific geopolitical incursions, contentions, whatever you may call it. And when I asked you to pay attention to the map behind me, I will be giving you a task. Without looking at the map again, based on your initial glance, you have to name every single country of Southeast Asia. And you're not allowed to take a second peek or even look up the countries online. So our job is to not only entertain you with certain tidbits, but as well as bring you information pertaining to specific topics as well as specific phenomena that's on a global scale. As you've seen that I have shown you a map of Southeast Asia. So it means that we will be discussing something related to Southeast Asia. So what will we be discussing? What we will be discussing is the geopolitical implications of that specific region, as in Southeast Asia, the importance of Southeast Asian countries on a global scale, what they bring to the global supply chain, as well as the great power politics which are at play in that specific region. And I will be bringing in an expert for a two-part series where in part one we will be discussing the importance and implications of the Southeast Asian countries. Okay, we will be discussing their importance, the implication of their position, as well as the importance on a global scale as well as regionally, because they are intricate parts of the global supply chain. And on part two, we will be discussing the great power politics, mainly bringing in conversations about the United States as well as China, and what they bring, rather what they are contending for in the region. So it will be a very, very comprehensive discussion about a very, very important region as well as very important specific powers. And we hope that you will be able to dissect this conversation and bring forth, rather extract the substance from what we say or what we present to you. But before we move forward with the specific discussions, please watch a short video on the topic. Viewers, thank you so much for being with us. Today my guest is the esteemed Professor Aminul Karim. He is a distinguished professor of the Department of International Relations at the Bangladesh University of Professionals. Sir, thank you so much for being with us. How are you?
I'm fine. My pleasure to be here.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
for inviting me.
It is our pleasure to have invited you, sir.
Sure.
Sir, may I proceed with the questions?
Please do.
Sir, my topic for today is about Southeast Asia and the importance of the countries of that specific region. Sir, what importance do the countries of that region hold in the concept of the global supply chain?
This is a very good question. And global supply chain is directly affected by certain flashpoints that we find in this region in Southeast Asia. That starts from the Malacca Strait to South China Sea, to East China Sea, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, China mainland, and United States. Now, if somehow this passage is blocked, the energy supply will be totally blocked, and especially China will be in total tatters, absolutely.
Of course.
There will be social unrest in China. There is so much of demand of energy in this part of the world. especially for China, Japan, South Korea, where they are developing like anything. And this country, especially the South China Sea, is is a trouble spot. It's a flashpoint, so to say.
Of course, sir.
And the Americans and the Chinese are having best of their militaries deployed here, military equipment deployed here. And China is bent upon having full control as much as possible. I'm sure you are aware of the 9-dash line.
9-dash line, yes, sir.
And then the first island chain, and then you have the second island chain.
Of course.
So this is South China Sea is a place where China wants to project its power.
Yes, sir.
And they want to keep the Americans at bay. But the Americans have come into here. You heard about the Spratly Island and the Parasil Island,
yes,
and the Scarborough Island.
Yes, sir.
Those are disputed islands, but China is building big garrisons.
Of course.
Have already done it by land reclamation. And they have runways and garrisons and municipalities. And they are demanding the entire area as as being demarcated by 9-dash line, and they're claiming almost the entire area of South China Sea.
Yes, sir.
So there are 5 claimant countries, the smaller countries like Malaysia, Southeast Asian country,
Yes, sir.
Brunei, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines. But China, my hunch is China wants to dominate this area, but the Americans are conducting the freedom of navigation operations, uninterrupted flow of trade and overflight.
Yes, sir.
But the Americans are conducting very close mainland surveillance all the time.
Yes, sir.
So there's a sort of tug of war. We call it geopolitics or ego politics, whatever you call it. And then they are the claimant countries. But China at the moment it is going nowhere. China, as I said, it has already claimed its rights in the United Nations. The other countries, the smaller countries, they have also placed their demands in the United Nations. And there is a rift and there is a geopolitics. Americans have come in, and none of them are going to budge. UNCLOS is not respected. UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. China has ratified it. America has not ratified, but its president has signed it. And so there is a standoff, so to say.
Of course.
And the best of the weapons of the Chinese and the best of the weapons of the Americans, especially the Navy, are patrolling the South China Sea all along.
Okay. Sir, the concept of it being ego politics is a very appropriate way of describing the intricacies of Southeast Asia. Sir, if I may interject and ask you the second question, it would be pertaining to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, accumulating the 10 Southeast Asian countries. What has the organization been able to achieve as an organization, given that its principle was based on the foundation of neutrality and interconnectedness and cooperation between the members? Has it been successful as an organization, or is it just fodder?
No, ASEAN, when it was established in 1967,
Yes, sir.
they had the Bangkok Declaration.
Yes.
And then in around 2007, they had this ASEAN Charter. ASEAN Charter is binding, legally binding.
Yes, it is.
They're coming closer. This is much better than any other regional organization other than the EU. EU is the most compact.
Yes, sir.
But next is ASEAN, to my understanding. Now, ASEAN is being, given the role of centrality. It is called the role of centrality, both by China and the US, both sides.
Yes.
You call it the Quad Alliance Group, or you call it the Chinese group.
Yes, sir.
But ASEAN is playing a very, I know, it's not a security-oriented alliance, but they are putting more emphasis on economy.
Yes, sir.
And they are doing good. They have free trade zone in the entire ASEAN.
Yes, sir.
And as ASEAN, they are negotiating with the China to sort out South China Sea.
Yes, sir.
And that's a good development. They have got 3 pillars. One is economic pillar,
Yes.
security pillar, and cultural pillar, which is people-to-people contacts.
Yes, sir.
people-to-people contacts are increasing, but they are not as vibrant as the African Union. African Union can, as you said, they are crippled by the principle of consensus.
Yes, sir.
And neutrality and non-interference in the internal affairs of the other country. So it's a delicate problem, and that's why they cannot sort out this Myanmar problem.
Yes, sir.
They have been approaching diplomatically, but they cannot put pressure. You cannot have a Security Council sort of resolution here and then send your troops and take care of the Myanmar junta.
Yes, sir. I have a following question on this specific topic, as this specific factor of discussion. Before proceeding with that, I have another question for you, sir. Many experts divide Southeast Asia based on two attributes. One being a coalition of the continental countries, which include Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand, and the others being maritime countries, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, Singapore, and of course Malaysia. So my question to you would be, what merits or detriments do these two attributes face or have?
We talked about the maritime nations already. I've talked about that. They are claiming the South China Sea.
South China Sea.
Like Malaysia, Brunei, Vietnam. Vietnam came little later on. They joined little later on. Initially, there were only few countries, 3-4 countries.
Yes.
Malaysia was there, Indonesia was there. Brunei came little later.
Yes.
Vietnam, they joined later. Now it is 10 countries.
10 countries, sir.
Now, Vietnam has problem with China.
Yes, sir.
Now Vietnam is tilting towards America now, and they're having very strong trade relations with America.
Yes, they are, sir.
And they fought a war, remember, in 1978,
Of course.
limited war, and they were given a lesson by the Chinese military. But Vietnam is a very determined country. Vietnam, Cambodia is a poor country, but is much dependent on Chinese. Laos is also dependent on Chinese. Thailand is more inclined towards the Americans. They are alliance relations with America. So these continental countries they have another space which these maritime states don't have it. They are within their own zone because they are bordering China, they are bordering Bangladesh, they are bordering India, so on and so forth. But they are taking time. They are doing good, much better than any other, as I said, any other organizations. Maritime countries are more concerned about the South China Sea because they would not like to, even in Indonesia. But Indonesia is coming up in a big way. There are two giants in Southeast Asian countries. One is Indonesia, and the other is Vietnam.
Vietnam, yes.
For continental country, Vietnam is the sub-leader, you can say, and for this side, Indonesia is the leader. Singapore is also there. And Singapore is in America. Americans have a strong base in Singapore, very strong naval base.
Yes.
And but they are closing and getting more integrated. And I would tend to say China is assertive here. America is also trying to be assertive, and this is where is the question of ego politics coming up.
Yes, sir.
And the resource-wise, South China Sea has a lot of energy,
lots of resources,
lots of energies, and a lot of islands.
Yes, sir.
And Philippines has become an alliance of America very recently. There is another aspect which nobody mentioned. I heard the ASEAN Secretary General. He said that ASEAN can be, the South Asian countries can also divide into two religious groups.
Really, sir?
Really.
Between Buddhism and
Islam.
Islam, yes.
And they're precisely of the same size. The number of Muslims living in this part of the world is same as that of Buddhist. So I hope, I was listening to the Secretary General of Biden some time back. He said that there may be a war between these two civilizations someday. But I don't think this is so true now. But you never know. Myanmar is a good example.
Of course, sir. Of course.
Myanmar is a good example.
Yes, sir.
They are Buddhists, throwing out the Muslims.
Of course, sir.
So he has his reason. And it is precisely almost equal.
Yes.
Muslims and I hope not. Civilizational fight or war is not welcome. No, that's very bad for the world at large.
Yes, sir.
But ASEAN is doing a great job. And It's a good diplomatic front, both for China and the Americans. If they want to launch anything, they take the support of the ASEANs. They tend to take support of the ASEANs. That is for sure. But security-wise, it is nowhere near to. EU is different. EU is almost integrated economically.
Of course, sir. The epitome of cohesion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Epitome of cohesion.
Yes.
Culturally, they have to go for deeper.
Of course.
But I think they have education program, scholarship program, capacity building programs. Those are going on fine. I was in the University of Malaya, I was working there, so we used to teach ASEAN affairs as one of our master's program.
Okay. That's interesting.
And regional integration is, many authors say that this is like a talking shop. No, that's no more true.
Okay,
there was a time people used to say this is a talking shop.
Okay, sir. Sir, my next question would be about the art of hedging. As we've discussed, Singapore not only houses, or rather accommodates U.S. naval ships, it also gives room for China to invest in its economy and its industries. So does Vietnam. It is balancing its relationship with the US as well as China. It's not just concentric to these two countries, rather it's a practice which has been proliferating within the region itself. So my question to you would be, are the countries of Southeast Asia being successful in the attempt at hedging? Hedging being trying to derive concessions from two or more conflicting parties while not choosing any sides. Are they successful, sir?
They are very successful. Malaysia is deriving benefits both from China and America.
Yes, sir.
They have, the pact with Americans,
yes, sir.
And they're getting a lot of funds from China under the BRI project.
BRI project, yes, sir.
Same is true in Indonesia.
Yes,
they have built the entire speed train in the. Malaysia is getting a lot of money for the east-west highway.
Yes, sir.
East-west highway and east-west, railway line.
Yes, sir.
Singapore is getting money both from China and Americans. They are berthing the American big ships.
Yes, sir.
In Singapore, the port.
Yes, sir.
Indonesia is getting benefits both from the Americans and the Chinese.
Of course, sir.
So they are doing excellent job. Vietnam is little problematic, but Vietnam is coming up very strong economically.
Sir. Yes, sir.
They are almost tilted towards the Americans.
Yes, sir.
Cambodia is also tilted towards Chinese. Laos is similar. Myanmar is a trouble case. Myanmar cannot decide. I don't think where Americans' eyes are there on Myanmar. I mean, Chinese is already there in person, absolutely in situ. Chinese are controlling the entire show, but then this country is totally is shattered, so to say. There is no central authority.
Yes, sir.
So many ethnic groups are fighting here. So unless that country, unless it is restored by the UN system, there is no possibility of peace coming up anywhere near, and there is no possibility of the Rohingyas being resettled there. No way.
Sir, if I may interject, it's pertaining to Myanmar. Why has ASEAN not been able to be successful in resolving the Rohingya issue, which is not only still active in Myanmar, but they are getting embroiled in other inter-ethnic conflicts within the country? It's always the junta versus some other entity which is existent in the country. Some days it's against the Karen Independence Army, some days it's against the Arakan Army, some days it's against MNDAA. So what is going on, sir? Like, why has ASEAN not been able to resolve the conflict irrespective of any other global intervention?
ASEAN has no wherewithal to handle the Rohingya problem. The Myanmar problem. ASEAN can request diplomatically, approach them, or seclude them, or sideline them, but that's not going to work.
Sir, is it because of the principle of non-intervention?
Non-interference in the internal affairs.
It's part of the
consensus building, everybody has to agree.
Yes, sir.
And then even if they agree, they don't have that military power to take action. That's not possible.
Yes, sir.
It is only UN Security Council that can do it.
Yes, sir.
So but then ASEAN has done a good job by ending the fight between Cambodia and
yes, sir.
Cambodia and Thailand.
Yes, sir.
That was a good job. But they agreed, both parties agreed. This ASEAN has tried many times. It didn't work.
Yes, sir.
Unless China agrees, unless Russia agrees, unless America agrees, nothing is going to work. You have to take it to Security Council, call for a military peacekeeping force, and only then you can restore order in Myanmar. Unless it is done that way, and then have a referendum and install a government, nothing is going to have, nothing is going to address the, unless it is done that way, nothing is going to address the Rohingya crisis. ASEAN doesn't have that clout.
Of course.
Doesn't have that clout, doesn't have that vibrancy. No. ASEAN is not, as I said, security-wise, it is very fragile.
Yes,
It's very, what should I say, fledgling.
Incipient.
Incipient. And ASEAN doesn't go for that.
Yes, sir.
ASEAN was not meant for that.
Yes.
ASEAN was meant basically for good neighborliness, good friendship, good governance. We help each other.
Of course.
That was the practical problem. Yeah, but then it is changing. But no, ASEAN cannot solve this problem. No way.
So what I'm interpreting here is that we always have to bring in the global juggernauts or the bigger players in order to solve conflicts within this region. Sir, this will be my last question for this episode, something I will be expanding on in the forwarding episode.
Okay.
As we've discussed, the implications, rather the presence of the US and China in this specific region. So may we assume that these countries of Southeast Asia are on the chessboard are on a very intricate and complex game of chess between the US and China?
That's a very good
I
question.
didn't try to...
No, I've got your point. I got your point.
Yes, sir.
ASEAN countries are very cool, composed,
Yes, sir.
and they will not get embroiled in the hot politics or geopolitics. As you said, hedging, they are playing it very well.
Exactly.
And they're developing.
Yes,
The good part is Malaysia is developing, like in Singapore is a first world country.
Of course.
Indonesia is developing. Vietnam is developing.
Yes.
Thailand is developing. So both the sides are giving due importance to ASEAN and I don't think China or America will do that venture. There may be a problem in the South China Sea. There may be a clash or a conflict in South China Sea. A problem can be there in the East China Sea. A problem can be there over the annexation of or capture of Taiwan by China. But America also will not let that happen. This is the fact. Malacca Strait may be blocked by the Americans. Then the China will have to take the bypass strategy through Myanmar and Pakistan, and they're also looking for another aspect in the Thailand Kra Island, Kra Canal.
Yes, sir.
So no, they could not pay. There are very good trade relations between China and ASEAN countries.
Of course, and they're also also part of the RCEP.
RCEP, correct.
Yes, sir.
And BRI.
Yeah, of course.
And RCEP is also there. Yes, you are right. America tried that TPP, but that has floundered because Trump came and he just said, forget about it, abrogated this TPP.
Yes, sir.
But geopolitically, militarily, they are very strong. Indo-Pacific Command is very strong there.
Of course, sir. Of course.
And it is difficult. They are going strong. ASEAN should hold on, but there is no necessity of bifurcating or creating problem within the ASEAN setup. Because they are doing good. They are good both for the Chinese and good for the Americans. So why should they disturb them?
Of course.
And they are developing. They are also developing militarily. Vietnam is developing very strongly militarily. Indonesia is developing militarily. Even Singapore is developing very strongly militarily.
Of course.
Thailand is doing that.
Of course, sir.
But there are internal problems. Border dispute problem between Thailand and Malaysia. Even there are problems in Philippines with the southern Muslim insurgency.
Yes, sir.
These are there. It's a very vibrant, economically very strong entity. No reason that these superpowers or big powers will disturb their system or equanimity, as you call it.
Of course, sir.
Yeah.
That is one of the reasons why I refer to it as a chess game rather than calling them pawns overtly. They're not pawns. They're not concise. They're very circumspect. They know what they're doing, and
they're very clear about what they're doing.
And they are being led by very sagacious and wise leaders.
Absolutely, they have got very good leaders.
Of course,
who can look into the future.
Of course, sir. This is something I will be expanding upon in the next part of our series. And thank you so much for giving me time and enlightening not only me but our viewers.
Thank you very much.
Of course,
it was a pleasure for me to be here.
Of course, sir.
I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I learned a lot.
Thank you so much. Viewers, thank you so much for being with us in part 1 of the series. Please join us for part 2. We will be starting the conversation, rather we will be presenting you with the second part very shortly. And if you'd like to connect with us or remain connected to us, please go to our Facebook and YouTube pages, leave a like and subscribe, and of course leave comments on our videos. And let us know what kind of content you would like for us to discuss, what kind of discussions you would like to see, and any moderations we may bring to our format. Thank you so much. Until next time.